Hello, my name is Kat and today I'm doing my July wrap-up. So July was an okay reading month for me. I mean, I did get through 5 books, so that's pretty decent. I just wanted to get through a lot more. I do kind of have the excuse that I was moving this month. I'm currently in my new apartment, and these are the only books I have out on shelves. These two right here, the only shelves I have set up. And I put them together just for you, just for this video. But yeah, let's talk about the 5 books that I finished in July. So first up, I read The Silkworm by Robert Galbraith, who is actually J.K. Rowling. If you didn't know, which you probably did because it's very old news, but in case you didn't, FYI. This is the second book in the Cormoran Strike series. The first book being The Cuckoo's Calling, which I read and reviewed last year, so I'll link that video in the description in case you want to check it out. And I actually think I enjoyed this book a little bit more than the first one, and I loved the first one, so I'm really loving this series so far. I'm excited for book 3. Are we getting a book 3? I hope we're getting a book 3. I should check on that. Now, this is not the kind of thing that I normally read, and I probably wouldn't have picked it up if it wasn't by J.K. Rowling. But I'm really glad I did, because I'm enjoying the series a lot so far. In this book, Cormoran Strike is investigating the disappearance of a novelist. And there's a lot of suspicious activity about because this novelist just wrote a book that kind of humiliated lots of people in both his professional and personal life. So there's a lot of people who kind of hate him right now and who wouldn't mind if he just disappeared for good, along with that book of his. I always thought that J.K. Rowling was great at dialogue and characterization, and that really shows in this series, particularly this novel, because now we have a little bit more backstory to some of the familiar characters like Cormoran Strike and his assistant Robin. And it's just so enjoyable getting to know these characters better and also getting to know all of these new suspicious characters. Like, everyone is really suspicious and I had no idea what was going on. Like, I did not predict the ending at all. And it was a good one. And in case for some reason you're wondering if this is similar to Harry Potter, no, it's not, like, at all. The themes, the language, everything about it is very different and very adult. So I wouldn't recommend this to the youngins, but if you enjoy a good adult mystery novel with great dialogue and characterization, then this is the book for you. Definitely check the series out. On Goodreads, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and I am most definitely looking forward to the next installment. After I finished The Silkworm, it was time for Booktubeathon, which was kind of half win, half fail for me. On the reading side of things, I won. I completed all 7 of the challenges. I read 7 books, kind of. I'm not counting all of them because 4 of them were mangas, and I don't feel like those should count all of them toward my novel count, but I did complete all the challenges. I read a lot, and I was really happy with that side of Booktubeathon. However, I was less pleased with my performance on the vlogging side of Booktubeathon because I did not do well at that. Like, at all. And I do still want to complete the Booktubeathon vlogging challenges because those looked so fun and I want to do them, but I cannot do them today. So I will attempt to do them at some point in the future, this month, maybe, possibly. But anyways, let's talk about the books that I read during Booktubeathon because that is a much happier topic than the vlogs that I made during Booktubeathon, because those don't exist, but the books sure do. So first up, I read the first 4 volumes of the Ouran High School Host Club manga, which I do not have handy because it's packed into one of the many boxes strewn about my room right now. I'm not actually counting these books toward my reading total though, so this is only going to be a brief mention. I'm really enjoying them. They are just like the anime. Like the anime, which I love, is a very faithful adaptation from the manga. And I'm planning on continuing the manga. I want to complete it by the end of the year. There's 18 volumes, so I'll read a couple every month and get it done. Like I said though, I'm not going to be counting these toward my book total for the year because they are manga. Like, I don't feel like they count as novels, so I'm not counting them. I still want to read 52 novels, and manga does not count, in my opinion, for my personal challenge. Yes. But the manga did help me knock out a few of the Booktubeathon challenges. There was one to read a book with pictures in it. Check. There was one to read a book from the genre you've read the least this year, and I had actually never read a manga before, so check. There was a challenge to read and watch a book to movie adaptation, and the anime counted as an adaptation, so I watched it. Check. And I feel like there was one more challenge that they helped me take care of, but I can't remember it now. Maybe it was just the read 7 books challenge. I think that was it, so that's what I'm going with. It helped me knock out those 4 challenges, and then I read 3 more books for the other 3 challenges. And those were the Grisha Trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. Shadow and Bone is book 1 in the trilogy, Siege and Storm is book 2, and Ruin and Rising is book 3. Now I mentioned in my July book haul and a couple other videos that I mostly enjoyed this series. Like, I gave each book a 4 out of 5 stars, and the trilogy overall is a solid 4-star trilogy in my opinion. However, I do have some issues with the ending of some of these character stories, and I don't want to talk about it now because spoilers, but I will get into it in a video soon. I am planning to do a full trilogy discussion for this series in which I will share all of my spoilery thoughts and feels, because I really want to talk about my thoughts and feels. So I'm gonna be making a video talking all about these books. And finally, I read The Warrior Heir by Cinda Williams-Chima. This is the first book in the Warrior Chronicles, which is a fantasy series that's set in the current day modern world, kind of. There's also like this whole high fantasy world that kind of runs parallel to the world you and I know. Basically, in the fantasy world side of things, you have warriors and wizards and sorcerers and enchanters, and this whole political social hierarchy system where the wizards are at the very top and everyone else is kind of traded and used by the wizards. The main character of this book is a 16-year-old boy named Jack, and when he was born he was supposed to be a wizard, but he got turned into a warrior. And this is a very big deal because while wizards are at the very top of the food chain, warriors are at the very bottom. And they're super rare because the wizards use them as like pawns in their battle for power against each other. So Jack is one of the very few remaining warriors at a time when all of these wizards are kind of struggling for power, and having Jack on their side is the key to that power because the wizards need warriors to fight for them, and there's not many warriors, so Jack is a hot commodity. So between Jack learning about his new warrior powers and this whole society of magical people, he also has to figure out what to do about all of these wizards who are trying to claim him and send him into a battle to the death. This book really impressed me. Like, I went into it thinking I would enjoy it, but I ended up actually loving it. This was the Booksplosion Book of the Month pick for our July read-along, which was sponsored by Hyperion this month. And I was so excited to read this because I've been in the mood for a good fantasy book, and I've been wanting to read something by Cinda Williams-Chima for a while now, and I'm so glad I did because it didn't disappoint. I'd heard from some other booktubers that this book was a little bit slow in the beginning and kind of took a while to get into, but but maybe because I had that in mind as I went into it, I didn't really experience that. Like, I was pretty hooked right away. And even though there is quite a bit of world building, I actually enjoyed that because the world is really cool and I can't wait to see where it goes in the future books. It wasn't quite a 5-star book for me, but I would rank it up there, like 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. Myself and the other Booksplosion members will be doing a live show to discuss this book, and I'm not sure if this video will go up before or after that, but either way I will put some more info in the description in case you might want to attend the live show while it's live, or maybe watch it afterwards if this video is not as timely as I want it to be. So yes, these are 4 of the books that I read in July. The Silkworm was an ebook, so I don't have that to show you, and I'm not counting the manga, and also the manga is packed in a box somewhere, so I'm not going to show you that either. But yeah, enjoyment-wise, it was a very good reading month, and quantity-wise, it was okay. I'm a little bit disappointed because I didn't do as well as I would have liked, but 5 books is still keeping on track with my reading goal, so it's all good in the hood. I do not live in a hood. I actually live in a very nice neighborhood. I quite like my new apartment. But yeah, that is gonna be it for this video today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great night, and I will have another vlog up soon. So I will see you then. Goodbye! It kills me. Should this be the thumbnail? No. Maybe. His face is so tiny. This is the next book I will be reading. You guys like my book backdrop? I put it together just for you. They're the only books that are not in boxes right now, aside from the ones in this video. How could you, Lee Bardugo? How could you?